Hello everyone. There has been a recent trend all over the internet, hysteria and a lot of pearl clutching about the kind of stuff that women read. So, why do women read these gooner books? Well, the answer is very simple. All the visual stuff, whether it's animated or performed by actual people, is mostly targeted towards men. I guess it is because it's easier to make stuff for men. It's very clear what they want. Men are fine with a paragraph with just watching the actual scene happen, whereas women want some context. They want a full movie behind it. And because of that, there is hardly any visual content for women anywhere. There's no fan service for them in anime the way there is for men. There are not a lot of sexualized men in video games for them. So a lot of them just start writing corn themselves. Now they start when they're 14, 15 years old. Most of them have a Wattpad face, and this is where this entire thing begins. They start with fan fictions of various characters, sometimes even real people, especially boy band members or singers, which I find kind of weird, but it's not halfway as bad as the AI morphed adult content that is made with celebrities' faces today, but it's still pretty weird. Now, it all started with Twilight too. You see, Twilight was, I don't know, I might be wrong, a fanfic of Harry Potter. And then 50 Shades was a fanfic of Twilight. And then 365 Days was a fanfic of that, I guess. I don't know. And the pipeline continued. Now, I'll be very clear with it. I've never read any of these books. I watched the first Twilight movie when I was a kid, and I enjoyed it for 3 reasons only. The music, it was brilliant. The color grading, it just made the town look so cold, and the cinematography. And yes, the overall vibe, the atmosphere of the first movie, it was nice. But then it was all lost in the sequels. So the sequels had basically no redeeming qualities because the plot was always shit. Also, I think Bella's dad is hot. Now about the books. I've never read any of them. Twilight, 365 Days, or 50 Shades. I think I watched the first 50 Shades movie, but it was trash. So I wouldn't touch the Minotaur milking book with a 10-foot pole. But I'm okay with women reading it because, they hardly have any corn from anywhere else. So whatever makes them happy, they gotta write for themselves. But there's been a lot of outrage about the stuff women are reading. So I'm trying to understand why. You see, women discuss this kind of stuff everywhere on TikTok to a point that people are saying that they don't have any shame. Most of them are grown women. And a lot of people say that, okay, men watch porn too, but most of the time they don't talk about it openly on the internet, okay? They secretly watch it and they clear their browsing history. Women are not doing that. They're discussing all sorts of horrible shit. Okay, I can get behind that. I kind of understand what these people are trying to say. But there's also a bunch of people who claim that women are becoming sinners and they're becoming demonic because they're reading all sorts of horrible shit and women are evil and that every right should be taken away from them and they deserve a beating of some kind. I don't know. This is going way too far. Like I said, I don't watch porn that much either, even though I'm a visual creature. That's because I no longer have the patience to read porn books anymore. I can't even read like regular books. I have a very bad attention span now. And also because I read a lot when I was 15, 16 to a point that most smart becomes very repetitive. But after that, I actually tried watching something visual, and therefore I went to some Japanese animated stuff websites. And I'll be honest, very popular tags on those websites are grape and lolly. Now, if you don't know about lolly, it's basically a PDF category. And they're very popular tags, and men watch that kind of stuff a lot. It's very violent at times. It's horrible to a point that it's extremely brutal. And all the violence is usually on the woman. Now, the stuff that these women read about is also violence on the woman. They're on the masochist side. The stuff that the men watch is also the sadism side. So, the fact that these men go around and act all righteous and all moral, and the streamer Asmongold actually defended the grape simulator named No Mercy. It was taken down 2 weeks later, I think. He actually defended it by saying that it wasn't very different from, let's say, playing GTA where you kill people. Wild, because it's not the same. I think every human being has sometimes a desire to kill people. I don't know, to blow some steam off. But no human should ever have a desire to grape someone. That's not normal to have. You have it, you should be on the watch list. The fact that these same men, because of a woman reading a milking minotaur bullshit novel, say that these women deserve to get beat and they don't deserve any rights. Well, you don't deserve any rights either, and you also deserve to have your internet connection taken away from you because of the stuff you watch. But anyway, you see, they are very hypocritical. Now, in the end, I'm going to say this. Women need to realize it's okay reading porn if that's what you enjoy. But there is a time and place for it. Secondly, they need to understand it's also ultimately porn, and it's going to damage their brains. It's going to fry their brains. I need to read it in moderation. Or if they think they are getting addicted and it's causing them problems in their real life relationships and stuff, they need to stop instantly. Thirdly, just stop discussing about it like it's some high literature, high art or something just because it's books. They're not. We understand they're not high art. They're just corn, and just call it that. Call it trash, okay? Also, this is a serious problem. Most literature these days has become stuff like this, romantasy. And that's a problem. We need serious literature. We need serious fiction. Like I said before, Song of Ice and Fire also had a lot of adult scenes, but it also had a plot. These books don't. So either keep them in a separate category. Also, about the animal thing, why women are reading about a lot of animal stuff, it's just furry stuff. Okay? It's an R-rated Beauty and the Beast. There's nothing very new about all of this. But, well, Walt Disney made it. Nobody had a problem. But if a woman writes about having a romance with something that looks like the Beast from Beauty and the Beast, suddenly everyone is traumatized and think it's scandalous. It's kind of weird. Like, it's not that big of a deal, really. At least it's not lolly. At least the Minotaur is not a child. Also, about the whole domination thing. A lot of people say that women are so against the patriarchy. Why do they read books where the patriarchy is dominant and they're being dominated by alpha masculine male things? Well, it's simple. It's escapism. You see, in the book, the woman just gets the thrill of being subservient to a masculine thing. But in real life, if that happens, it has real life repercussions, long-term consequences. And it's not going to be fun. And your husband is most probably not going to look like a sexy minotaur thing, whatever. And women don't want that in real life. It's simple escapism. The same way men watch Monster Girl anime. I don't know why anyone doesn't talk about it. Men watch that stuff too when they say hear me out to some diabolical things. But I don't know, for some reason people don't want to talk about that. I don't know, it just seems like it's better to fantasize about being dominated than being the dominator. It's more dangerous if you are fantasizing about essaying someone, and therefore I think it's pretty tame. I still think it's kind of weird though. Also, we have to realize that a lot of the books popular on TikTok are also regular romance, like a fucking ice hockey romance between a vanilla straight couple. So now a lot of men online also say stuff like, if women do this to themselves in books, why do they have a problem with sexualized female characters in video games? They should never complain. Well, they don't have a problem against sexualized female characters. They only have a problem when only women are subjected to the sexualization. You see, if it's a battle going on and every man is in full armor and the woman is wearing a bikini, it's kind of disrespectful and weird and sexist. Just put her in a full armor, okay? If it's a beach episode and everyone is naked and everyone has jiggle physics, then that's fine, okay? All women want is equality in terms of sexualization. Like Marvel Rivals. I think all I see women say all the time, it's the general idea that that game mostly has a male fan base, therefore there are more female gooner skins, but not a lot of male character gooner skins. But I see a lot of female fans for that game online. And all I'm saying is, if you make both men and women equally sexy, I don't think anyone will have a problem. But for that, you have to get the female game developers, and sadly, they are too busy making things ugly, which I also don't understand. But in the end, it also depends on what type of game it is. Also, the Concord redesign sucked. Like this guy over here, he made the women almost nude and didn't even give them basic armor, but kept the guy fully dressed. And this is the inequality I'm talking about. This is the reason why these horrible woke Gordon coat designs came into existence, is because things were very unequal. But I hope that changes and we have conventionally attractive both men and women in games. Anyway, that's it for today. Please like and subscribe and share if you want to. Thank you.